I mean,
thank you.
I heard 4 years ago you were like eating Domino's pizza when she walked out in your gown, and I heard you were like ran around your apartment yelling.
I know. I was so emotional, and it was so crazy because I didn't, I'd really never watched an inauguration before, and I felt like I didn't even know I was on the right channel because I was like, wait, is this a concert or something? It was, I remember, I think Jamie Foxx was introducing the president and the first lady, and then they came out, and I was like, I think I know that dress, and then it was mine, and I was sort of awestruck.
So this time around, did you I mean, you must have known you were in the running. Clearly you had communication, as all the designers do. You don't actually try the dress on her. Did you have a mannequin that is her shape? How does that work?
Everyone asked me. No, I do have a Michelle mannequin in my studio, and I've consistently worked with her in the last 4 years since she's been in office, and it's just been a really great relationship, being able to call the First Lady a client. I mean, that's something really special, I think.
So did they call you a few minutes before she came out? I mean, did you have a little heads up?
They're really bad about that. They never call me.
Really?
They're like, you're just going to have to find out when everyone else finds out.
It seems so cruel that way.
I know. I was like dying of anxiety. I was like walking around the studio. And like I was actually at studio because it's almost Fashion Week, so I was still working.
Right.
But it was a little more festive. I got to distract myself in a lot of work. So it was like...
Well, I mean, your career has changed a lot in the last 4 years. Where you, I assume you were not eating Domino's pizza last night.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't. I was just not eating.
Not to knock Domino's pizza, because I'm actually a fan. But how did 4 years ago? I mean, did that one event, her wearing that dress at that event 4 years ago, did that significantly change things for you?
Well, I think a lot of people ask me, what, that did that put me on the map? And that's certainly really, having the First Lady wear your dress for such a historical moment. The one which the fashion community was especially interested in is very significant. And, I always say, to do something like that, you really have to sort of back it up with more hard work, because, it's I always call, like, to have great opportunity like that, it's like getting a great role, and you sort of need your next winning role before you're done. And that's what I kept working on, and I think, we've been able to really take advantage of the publicity we got.
Well, that's the thing about fashion that's so stressful, is that you're only as good as kind of your last collection. So I mean, you can't ride that she wore your dress 4 years ago. You can't ride that for very, maybe the euphoria lasts for a couple of days, but you then have a business to run, and you've been incredibly successful. That, I mean, there are plenty of designers whose dresses first ladies have worn to inaugurations that haven't been able to continue forward, that have gone under.
Well, I think I've always just sort of reminded myself who I am and what I'm here to do, and when all of that happened, I thought it was very easy for me to field all the requests and offers and such. I mean, to me, I came to New York to be a fashion designer. So, and I always say at the end of the day, I'm a dressmaker. I'm not, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a, I'm not a personality. I have a personality, but I'm not a person. I'm not a TV personality. And it's very rare I do TV, and I feel comfortable behind the scenes, because that's where I have total control. I mean, I know exactly what I'm doing. I feel the most comfortable backstage in my shows, and I feel the most comfortable at fittings in my studio.
Was there any part, because I talked to a lot of alleged fashion experts in the last 2 days who were convinced it would be some other new young designer, and a lot of them were someone I talked to last night said they were gobsmacked just because that she picked somebody. Did you think it was going to be somebody else?
I was, I mean, I always thought that would be a possibility. I mean, certainly Mrs. Obama is known to wear a lot of young emerging talent, and also a lot of established houses that are American. And she's really been sort of a great champion of American fashion design, which I think, is in a better place than it's ever been before. I mean, American fashion has really, New York Fashion Week is one of the most important in the world today, and it's being looked at internationally. It wasn't like always like this.
Well, and you're still a young talent, so you still got a lot of years ahead of you. Listen, congratulations.
Thank you.
I wish you continued success.
Thank